How you going, guys? Curtis from Cutting Edge Engineering. So today's job, we're going to continue on with our Franna Crane project, and the plan for today is to get the engine mounted and the rest of the sheet metal tacked in position on the rear frame. And you may have noticed the interesting balance point we have with the rear end. Now that I've removed that front articulation plate, we don't need any chains on the front, and it balances perfectly off the rear lifting points. First thing we're going to get started on is putting together the engine mount so we can fit the engine. So these plates will make up the engine mounts that get bolted onto the motor, and the other plates will make up the mounts that go on the chassis and be welded inside the engine bay. So that's those tacked together. You will see that they are two different sizes, and that is because the transmission dictates where the engine sits in the engine bay, and it sits off to one side. Now we're going to tack together the mounts that get welded in the engine bay. Now the chassis mounts are welded. While we wait for them to cool down, we're going to bring over the engine so we can bolt on the engine mount and get ready to fit it into the engine bay. Now with those on, we're going to bolt on the chassis mounts, and bolted onto those are the rubber engine mounts. They are essential for absorbing the engine vibrations from going through the crane and damaging the engine or other components. So I've got those bolted on. I haven't got them tightened up because I might need to make adjustments to get everything centered. Now we can get it fitted in the engine bay. Something we didn't mention when we test fitted the engine, but a few of you viewers did notice, is the sump that we have on it at the moment is going to cause interference issues with the rear output shaft of the transmission, and we will be replacing it to a front mounted sump to give adequate clearance. So that went in very easily, a lot easier than the first time, and I'm happy with how the engine's sitting. It's sitting central and it is level. So now we'll tack the chassis mounts onto the chassis. And now we can unbolt the rubber mounts and lift the engine back out. So that's all we need the engine for. Now we're going to get on to finishing off the rest of the mount.
Through the puddle.
So that's everything we need to do on the engine mounts for now. The next thing I'm going to do is fit the new articulation plate that we gouged out in the last video. To make sure I get this plate the correct distance from the top plate, I have already made up 3 spacer blocks and they are 60mm tall, which is the original distance that I already took the measurement on the other plate that we gouged out. Because we're going to be line boring the center joint, I did have that hole cut undersized, so it's not very critical if we don't get it in the right location. But what we do need to make sure is correct is that the bottom plate is square and parallel with the top plate. I'm happy with that. We're going to tack it in position. Now we're going to get on to fitting and tacking the sheet metal for the rear guards. So these don't serve any purpose apart from making it look better, but I'm not quite happy with how this side is lining up, so I'm going to do some panel beating on that bit of angle line. So with that done, the next thing I need to do is start preparing the top deck, and I'm going to start by removing a broken bolt. So there are a few holes where things have been mounted. We're going to weld them up because we don't want any moisture getting in between the new top plate and the existing deck. I'm also going to grind down any high spots that might prevent the top sheet from sitting flat. So with that prepped, we can get on to fitting our new sheet metal for the top deck. And I have also painted what is going to be the underside with an etch primer, and that is going to be an added measure for rust prevention. Righto guys, so I'm really happy with how those fit. They fit exactly the way I wanted them to. Before I tack them in place, I am going to apply a 221 sickaflex. It is a strong adhesive and it's going to help hold them in place and stop them from rattling or any vibration between the two metal surfaces.
There you go. That's in, like, that's good.
Yep.
So that's everything tacked in place, and that is the last time you'll see any tread plate on this crane. But if you're worried about it being a slippery surface, what we are going to be applying is a grip tape across the entire top deck, and that is what is used on modern machinery. It doesn't matter whether it gets covered in water, oil or grease, it still remains a non-slip surface, unlike tread plate the second it gets wet. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to try and remove all this dirt out of these pipes that run wiring from the engine bay to the tail lights. And to do that, I'm going to be using a piece of CDS 1/2" line tube as a core drill.
Jesus.
So I don't seem to be getting far using that, so I'm going to try a masonry bit on a jackhammer and see if we can find where this hole is.
That's steel.
What? What?
That's steel right there.
Oh. Uh-huh.
So it doesn't go that way. So I've just run into a piece of steel. Maybe the wiring doesn't go the way we thought it did. So we're going to try the other side. So we run into the same problem here, so I'm going to use the jackhammer mode on the drill, and we're going to jackhammer this away because it is pretty rusty, to try and expose where this wiring hole goes.
Aha!
Righto, so we've exposed that through hole up into the wheel arch. It wasn't where we thought it was going to be, but now that we've found it, we're going to try and drill through to the other side. Coming.
It's the wiring, I think. It's stuck on. Can you try and pull the wiring out from this end? Oh, Jesus!
So now we got this side done, we're going to see if we can do it to the other side as well.
Ew. Aha! Now you should be able to drill it much easier. Hopefully.
So for some reason we aren't getting all the way through into the wheel arch. By the length of the drill we should be there, but something is stopping us.
What was all that?
Part of the counterweight. What we are finding is there is a lot of black sand coming out, which is probably used as part of the counterweight. So my guess is the pipe that holds the wiring is broken and we're just drilling into nowhere. So I'm going to try and redirect the angle of the drill and see if we can get it to go out the other side.
There we go.
Over at the top was it? I'll try and go a bit lower. Leave it in there, that's what I said. Well, now there's a hole there. Right, so Karen and I have just been sitting here debating how we're going to go about this. We have made the drill go all the way through. we can see the other end of it, but I have decided, because I can't put a solid line all the way back down there, I don't think I'm going to use this hole even after all that effort. And the problem we have, the pipe on this side doesn't actually follow a straight line. It goes up the counterweight and then it kicks down back into the wheel arch, which means it'd be very difficult to try and feed anything back down there to run the wiring through. Karen is very cross about this and keeps telling me how unimpressed she is with my decision. So my idea is I'm going to seal the hole where the wiring goes through the counterweight on that end, and I'm going to seal this entire thing off here on this end, thus not allowing water and moisture to get in there, and I'm going to put a set of tail lights going vertical like the Mac 25s. So the next thing we need to get on to is fully welding this out, but I do need to give the sickaflex a couple of days to cure correctly. Considering the weather we've had a lot of rain and a lot of humidity. If I was to fully weld this now and completely seal it off, the sickaflex would not cure correctly. So we're going to have to put this on hold for now. Stay tuned for the next video. Thanks for watching. So we can bolt on the engine mount. What's after that? Oh, what's after that? Wait, what are we doing?
Oh my god.
So something we didn't mention. So because we're going to be line boring the center joint, I have left this hole. Oh my god.
What happened?
So there are a few holes that have been drilled through the deck that have mounted things on the top. That have. So there are a few holes. So there are. It's not funny. So the and we have also painted and we have also painted the underside of, oh my god, I can't, am I sounding okay?
No.
Got it. Right. And we have also painted the I nearly said underpants.
Added cobwebs. Oh. Coal. Oh my god. Are you good?
Yep.
Oh my god. Oh. This whole process is painful. Oh my god.
Stupid thing.
I don't think it's the thing.
It's the thing. So. I don't know where to start.
Thanks for watching.
Right. So thanks for watching.
Oh my god, you're gonna have to redo that.
No.
Start again.
So we're gonna have to put that on hold.